I made a cornhole bag, kinda. A few months ago, True Cornhole reached out to me. I guess a few months. It may have been like 6 months ago. It's been a little bit. True Cornhole reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to design my own bag. I've always thought about doing that. I've had people ask me, when am I going to make my own bags? And I don't have a desire to make my own bags because one, equipment, it's expensive to buy the equipment you need as far as not just the sewing machine, but you got to sublimate on the bags. And then there's a lot of work to build a business to have it just turn a profit, not even to really make you money, but just to break even or get a little bit above breaking even. Right now, I just don't have that time. Between my regular job and then doing this YouTube channel, I don't have a lot of free time. And I'm not ready to give up the YouTube world yet. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing on YouTube. I'm loving putting these videos out. I'm loving doing the reviews. I'm having fun with it. I'm not ready to give that up yet. And so people ask my time, when am I gonna make my own bags? I have no desire to make my own bags. But when True Cornhole reached out and said, hey, do you want to create a bag? I was like, yeah, I think I do. It's something I've thought about doing. I'm like, you know what? I review bags. I criticize other people's bags. In my mind, I think, you know what? I know what it takes to make a great bag. And so I decided to make one. Now, I'm a little anxious putting this out here. I'm excited, but I'm also anxious about putting this bag out there because I know not everybody's going to like it, right? People ask me all the time, what's my favorite bag? What's the best bag? What's my, they want me to give a top 10, a top 5 ranking of bags. And I always tell them all the time, there isn't a best bag. There isn't one bag that everybody's going to love. There isn't one bag that's great for every situation. Bags, I pick bags based on the situation, the conditions, the weather, the board, the way the boards are playing. I pick a bag based on how I'm throwing, right? If I'm struggling with my gameplay, I tend to want a more forgiving bag, a little bag that's playing a little faster. Because if I'm struggling, I'm not confident with push shots. I'm not confident with cut shots. I'm not confident with making those skilled shots. So I want a bag I can just slide in and build my confidence up. If I'm playing confidently, then give me that slower bag. Give me that bag where I can shot shape. I'm okay with that. And then I'm picking my bag based on my opponent, right? If I get an opponent up there who struggles with dealing with blockers, I want a bag where I can put a blocker up every single time, and I want them to deal with that. If I get an opponent who I know can't run bags or struggles consistently and can't consistently put their 4 bags in, I want a bag where I can just run bags in and make them try to keep up. And so for me, when I build a backpack out, when I build out my loadout for a tournament or an event that I'm going to, there's usually 3 or 4 bags I want in there, and they're going to be different. A slow bag, a fast bag, maybe a medium bag, and then a 4th bag that kind of fills a gap somewhere in there, or maybe it's a specialty bag that does something that those other bags don't do, something like that. I'm not here to do a full review of this bag right now. I'm here to kind of let you know that these bags are being released. I'm gonna give you some details about the bag. I will do a full review like I normally do. It'll probably be a couple weeks down the road before I can get everything recorded and edited, so bear with me on that. But I wanted to announce, I'm excited to announce this. I want to get this out there. I want you guys to get your orders in and get your sets as quickly as you can. So if you go on there today and order a set, you should have them by the end of this week, hopefully. Depending on how many orders, I shouldn't, hold on, let me back up. I don't want to say, because depending on how many orders show up, I don't want to put the pressure on True Cornhole to be, producing everything, that quickly. So anyway, you'll get them as quickly as possible. So we'll put it out there at that. But as far as the bag goes, um, well, let's back up to the process, right? When TrueCorn reached out and said, "Hey, you want to make a bag?" I was like, "Yes." And I already had an idea of what material. I knew what 2 materials I want, and I gave them. It was these 2 materials here that I chose. Which slow side, it's a hybrid material. It's actually one of my favorite slow side materials for hybrid materials. Just slow side in general. It's one of my favorite slow side materials out there. I think we're seeing it more and more now. It's not a super popular material. It's the same slow side that is on the Big Mac bags, whatever. You see them pop up in my Thursday segments a lot. Absolutely love those bags. Same slow side that's on the All Cornhole Shag Attack, the Fly Cornhole Surge X, the Kevlar Crosshair. It's a super hole friendly material. You do have some control with it. What I love about it is humidity. I play outdoors in the summertime and a lot of times in the evenings, and when it starts getting humid, the temperatures drop, the humidity level kicks up, and sometimes trying to find bags that move is tough. This material moves really well in humidity. I love it for humidity. But even on regular boards, dry boards, normal board conditions, it plays great. It plays about a 6 speed, a little quicker brand new. Once you break it in, it softens up. I think it gets to about 6 speed, which for me is the perfect speed for running bags in the hole. That's about as fast as I want to go on slow speed, because I still have control to throw a blocker if I need to or when I want to. but yet most of the bags can just go up and drip right in the hole. So love the slow side on this. The fast side, this is actually the same fast side material that True Cornhole uses on their Trimmer XD bag, but it's just flipped over. It's the other side. It's the more texture side. Very similar to that Game Changer Surefire material. Slightly different, but it's very similar to it. I think it feels a little better. It has a little more control than the other side of the material. So it plays about an 8 speed. So you're looking at about a 6-8 speed for these bags, which the name of the bag is Conspiracy. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I'm just jumping all over the place here. Stick with me. The name of the bag is Conspiracy. It's a name I've always wanted. If you've watched my podcasts that I do, I have some conspiracy theories in there from time to time. I love conspiracy theories. I think they're fun. So the bag name is Conspiracy. So on these conspiracies, there is 6-8 speed on these bags. And the materials, like when True Cornhole reached out, I already knew. I'm like, these are the two materials I want. I like these two materials. They're two of my favorite materials. I want these on a bag. And I don't know. As of right now, I have not reviewed a bag that actually uses these exact two materials in this. I've used them. I've reviewed bags that have this slow side paired this fast side, but they always use the other side of it. This is the only one I know of that has this side of that material. And there was something too for me is I wanted to try to create something slightly unique, slightly different. Now, materials were no problem. The fill is where the fill is the most difficult part of a bag. And for me doing reviews, I know I know I like what type of fill I like as far as mixed or bead. I tend to favor more beads, less flat disc. But it's ratios. When you talk about ratios, of 80 to 20% mix, 75 25, 70 30, 85 15, whatever. Like I don't know. When I review a bag, I know it's a mixed fill. I couldn't tell you what the exact ratio is. So when it comes to actually determining the ratio, that's where I had to rely on True Cornhole. And the first set I made, I said I want to be 100% bead fill. I want a bag. I want a little bit smaller template. I want a fuller bag. I want 100% bead fill. And that was the first bag that they sent me, and I think I got. So this is the prototype 1, and this is 100% bead fill. Same materials on it, 100% bead fill. I got these bags in, and I like the way they played. But they were just too puffy. I put a video up on my Ko-fi and Patreon pages for my supporters there, talking about this bag and just getting some feedback. I got a lot of feedback from them. I took these bags with me to my local league. I had some people throw them, got some feedback. General consensus was the bags were good, but they were just too puffy, which I agree. I think they were just too puffy. And the direction you had to go from there was a couple ways. I could keep the 100% bead fill and increase the template. Right? This is a small template bag, go more of a medium template bag. I could go to a mixed fill and keep this template, or I can go medium fill and go mixed fill. Reached out to True Cornhole and was like, hey, they're the experts, right? They've been making bags. They've been putting the bags together. And I just felt like, that's your strength, right? You know different mixtures, you know the actual ratios. I'd be curious to try these bags right here with the mixed fill, same template and a medium template. That was kind of my, like, what difference does it make? So they actually sent me a couple more prototypes, one with a medium, one with the same template with a mixed fill, and then another medium template with a mixed fill. And even the mixed fill, it was still mostly bead. I think it's like 70% bead, somewhere around there in here. So it's still overwhelming majority of beads in here with a little bit of that flat disc. And that disc is designed just to take some of that puffiness out, to reduce give the bag a little bit more, little better grip on it, right? I think sometimes when you all bead fill, people don't like when you grab it, the bags tend to move around where that flat disc compresses, get a little more stability in the bag, and it gives the bag a little more forgiveness, right? Bead fill, all beads, bead fill tends to be bouncier, more action, more movement. This is not a bag that I feel like needs a lot of action, a lot of movement to it, so I wanted to take some of that out. So that's where the flat disc. So it is a mixed fill, mostly beads, but still a mixed fill in here. But when I got the two bags in, I actually fell in love with that medium template bag. I thought I wanted a smaller template bag, and the reason I wanted a smaller template bag is my idea here of creating this bag is I'm looking for a bag that I can pull out and play when I'm playing against that player who plays dirty, throws blockers up there, and who has a great roll bag or a flop or a cut shot, and they're just better at it than me, and I don't want to play that dirty style game. And there's a lot of us out there who don't throw roll bags. That's something that I haven't developed yet in my game. And so I throw cut shots, but sometimes a cut shot isn't always the best option, or doesn't always do exactly what I want. Cut shots can be a little bit riskier than, say, a rollback could be. And so I wanted a bag to where I could deal with that player, that opponent who's throwing rollbacks, and not have to push through their bag and minimize mistakes. And that's why I wanted this template to not be too big. So I typically like larger, floppier templates because they're super forgiving. But in this case, I didn't feel like with these materials, I didn't feel like I needed it because the materials are so hole friendly that they're going to drip in with the bead fill. This bag just drips in the hole. No matter, as long as it gets up near the hole, it's going to go in the hole. And by having this kind of medium to small template, it really squeezes in tight spaces nicely. And you still have the ability for shot shaping because it has mostly beads in here. It has enough movement, enough action. Cuts, rolls, flops, you can do it. Again, I'm not a rollback thrower, but I can throw my cuts with this bag. And typically faster bags, hard to cut. I'm able to throw my cuts, and I don't need to make a harsh, aggressive. I'm making just a slight, subtle cut. So when there's a blocker up there, right, I can step up there and just step out and throw my little cut and just sneak around and drip this bag in and leave that there. And that was my thought process. This is that fast bag for me when I run bags. It's also the bag when I play against that opponent who plays dirty style, and I just don't want to match them because maybe I can't outplay them dirty style. They're better than I am. I want to go a different direction and play away from their strengths. And so that was the idea behind these conspiracy bags. And so 6/8 speed bag, mixed fill, mostly bead fill still, because I love bead fill. And it's kind of that medium to smaller template. So the bag has a fuller feel to it, right? You get it in your hand. It doesn't have a lot of flop to it. There is some flop there, some forgiveness. It is not overly floppy. For those of you who love fuller feeling bags, I think you're gonna love these bag feel. I love the feeling of these bags, the hand feel. Two materials, they get pretty soft. It's got a nice compression to it. There's still beads that fill out. So when I butterfly grip, it fills out really nicely, and I can lock the bag down, have complete control over when I throw it. So it gives me a wonderful feeling in the hand, a lot of confidence when I throw it that I can get that bag coming how I want. So just overall, I am excited with the way these bags turned out. Shout out to True Cornhole for giving me the opportunity to do this. I had a blast doing it. I had a lot of fun. It was harder than I thought it was going to be, like dialing the fill in. If I was making the bags myself, I would have 50 sets of bags made up, all different fill ratios, and I'd be out there just going crazy trying to figure out what's the best one. It was nice to have True Cornhole's expertise and say, hey, this is kind of what I'm looking for. Which fill ratio do you recommend? And he reached out and said, hey, I've got this. I use this fill in this bag, this fill in this bag. I kind of like that. Let's go that direction. It turned out to be the right answer. So really could minimize the number of trial and errors sets that we had to deal and really got it dialed in pretty quickly. I mean, this is what I had in mind when I was designing this bag. This is exactly what I wanted to turn out with. And so I'm excited to put this out and release this to you guys. If you go to truecornhole.com, you can pick up yourself a set. They are available right now. I know I've rambled for so long. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to make sure I get everything out there. I'll pull this up for you guys real quick. So if you go to truecornhole.com, and if you scroll down, they have their bags. Get on the bottom, you'll see here the True Cornhole Conspiracy Collab with Mike's Bags. Click on that. That will take you to the designs. And we've got several designs up here. We've got, I've got two of them here. This is the Illuminati design, which is the first one you see there. It has the black material on the slow side. And then this one here is the Mechanical Eagle. And that has the blue slow side. So you can see the two different, the black and the blue. I think this Eagle right now is the one with the blue. Everything else has the black, I believe, on it. So we got those two designs. There's a couple just kind of more generic. It's a kind of a matrix theme. If you see the zeros and ones in the background there. And there are a few different color options on that, right? You've got some different options just to give you some basic designs. And then there's also an alien pilot design. If you want a little more, a brighter color, a little funner color design. Funner, is that the right word? I don't know, a little more fun design out there for you guys. And we've got some other designs. I've got some ideas in my head that I want to go, because I'm kind of sticking along with the conspiracy theory theme on this. So I've got some other designs I want to put out there. We just haven't got them. Designing is tough. That's what I've learned. The materials are easy. I can figure that out. Coming up with the fill was difficult, and designs. I've got design ideas, but to put them down and then to have them turn out and I feel like look good on paper or look good on a bag can be a little difficult. I'm not artistic in any way whatsoever. Thankfully, Dave at True Cornhole is pretty artistic, so he can take my ideas and get them where we need them to be. But they're out there. The bags are right now on sale for $75.99. If you check out and use code MikesBags10, it'll drop that price down for you. It's like I said, $13 shipping, I believe, True Cornhole. So with the code MikesBags10, it'll be $82, a little over $81 and change shipped to you. So great price on that. I didn't mention these are ACO stamps. So they did get ACO approval. So you get these with the ACO stamps. If you're playing ACO, you can throw these conspiracy bags out there. I'd love to see some of you guys throwing these at some ACO events. I'm sure when I get out to my next one, I'll have a set or two with me. If you see me out and you want to try them, ask me. I will more than likely have these bags with me either in my backpack or in my car when I go to events. So if you want to try them out, definitely check them out. If you get yourself a set, I would love to hear, as I mentioned, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your feedback. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. I can take it. I want your honest opinion. So I want to hear it. Let me know your thoughts on this. I'm excited to get these bags in your guys' hands. So go check them out, truecornhole.com, and Yeah, that's it. That's my bag. As always, I thank you guys so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.